Archangel Michael says, there is a growing obsession forming in the shadow of your presence. What began as admiration has twisted into a dangerous hunger to possess what they can never be. Someone close is watching your light too closely, not to protect it, but to absorb it. They study every move you make, mimic your words, and mirror your emotions with a precision that should send shivers down your spine. They have confused your divine glow with something they believe they can take, wear, or control. But your light was never theirs to touch. Your spirit has been anointed with grace, and that's why you've attracted not just attention, but obsession. This person cannot stop thinking about your beauty, your strength, and the silent way you rise above every storm meant to break you. This goes beyond jealousy, it is possession dressed as admiration. And the most unsettling part? They smile in your face as if their thoughts aren't burning with twisted intentions. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, this individual has crossed the line from admiration into spiritual stalking. In their silence, they've crafted plans not to celebrate you, but to drain you slowly. They hide behind compliments, but their energy says otherwise. There is something very calculated in their gaze. It is no longer friendly, it is fixated. You might feel uneasy around them lately, and that feeling is not wrong. They've started taking notes on you. Not in notebooks, but in habits, replicating your style, your routines, and even your emotional reactions. This mimicry is not harmless anymore. They believe if they can become you, they will earn the favor you carry so effortlessly. But light cannot be stolen by imitation, it must be earned by purity. Type Amen to get blessing 644. They have screenshots of you. They save your words, not to admire, but to twist them into their own reflection. In their world, they want to be you because being themselves has become unbearable next to your glow. It's no longer about being inspired by your path. It's about stealing your path. They think if they take your voice, your look, your presence, they'll get your power too. They've become obsessed with your glow like a moth circling a flame, unaware that the fire they seek is the same one that could destroy them. But in the process, they are trying to dim you. You've felt drained lately, haven't you? That's not your imagination. That's the silent theft of your aura being fed on by someone pretending to adore you. Type Amen to get blessing 721. Be alert now. A few weeks ago, they began visiting places you go, dressing in similar colors, and mimicking your captions online. They smile for the camera, but the truth is, they are spiraling behind the screen. Archangel Michael says, their energy is growing more invasive each day. They've tried to enchant others around you to shift attention from your light onto their replica. But no matter how many masks they wear, they cannot duplicate your soul. God is warning you in silence. You will soon overhear something that confirms what your spirit already suspects. Someone will accidentally reveal that this person has made you the center of every move they make. They are not doing this out of love, they are doing this out of emptiness. You became their obsession because you exposed their darkness with your effortless glow. Type Amen to get blessing 488. They've been using spiritual tools, even speaking to readers and guides, trying to understand how you shine so brightly. One of them even told them something that terrified them: you were chosen. That shook them. From that moment on, their admiration cracked into envy, and their envy slipped into a dangerous spiral of imitation and emotional tracking. They have your birthday memorized, your favorite phrases copied, and your tone rehearsed. What makes this more troubling is that they still smile around you. Still comment on your joy, still act as if they are inspired by you. But their heart is conflicted with rage over why it isn't them who was chosen instead. Your success has become their pain. Your progress feels like their punishment. And instead of healing their wounds, they're feeding their envy with unhealthy obsession. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They have tried to form friendships with your friends. They want to be talked about in the same light as you are. They want your recognition, even if it means faking every bit of their story to resemble yours. Someone even warned them, you can't become someone else just by copying their glow. But they didn't listen. They're too deep in now. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, you are not in danger of losing your glow, but you are in danger of being spiritually drained if you don't create boundaries. This is not a rivalry. This is a warning. They've created a version of you inside their mind that they obsess over. It's not the real you. They've exaggerated your light and now treat it like a trophy they must take by any means necessary. Type Amen to get blessing 414. This person even started dressing like you. Speaking like you. Writing like you. Their entire sense of identity has dissolved under the pressure of wanting to become your reflection. They no longer know who they are outside of you. This is not admiration, it's dangerous fixation disguised in flattery. You'll soon notice their posts, words, and expressions echo things you said or shared. It won't be a coincidence. The universe is exposing their mimicry little by little. God says, your glow was sent to heal, not to be hijacked. And though it will never be fully taken, it must now be fiercely protected. Type Amen to get blessing 525. You were marked with favor before they even knew your name. That's what bothers them the most. They can't trace how you shine without trying to force it into their own story. They have started looking into your past. They want to understand what shaped you, not out of care, but out of a desire to find a shortcut to your strength. But they will never find the answer they're searching for. The light you carry comes from your pain, your truth, your faith, your rebirth, not something that can be photocopied. And yet they continue trying, pulling at shadows and symbols to decode what only God understands. Archangel Michael says, the closer they move toward you, the more their mask will slip. And when it does, you must not hesitate to walk away. Type Amen to get blessing 820. Soon, they will say something to you that shocks you, not because of what's said, but because of how deeply they've been tracking your life. You'll realize they know things you never told them. A spiritual reader already warned them, if you continue to chase this person's light, you'll lose yourself completely. But they ignored that. Their obsession is turning darker now. They are not satisfied being near your glow, they want to own it. And this makes them unpredictable. Be calm, but cautious. Begin to observe how often their life mirrors yours. Step back and give yourself room to breathe and restore your power. Type Amen to get blessing 302. Their eyes are windows of resentment now. They see your elevation as an insult to their existence. The longer they try to compete with your soul, the more bitter they become. They've gone too far. Spiritually, they have started draining themselves in an effort to chase you. But the divine is watching. There is protection being wrapped around you now. The truth will soon erupt in a way that exposes them. Their plans will collapse, not because of anything you do, but because obsession cannot survive in light. This season, let them reveal themselves. Let their words and actions show who they've become. And let your peace remain untouched. Type Amen to get blessing 717. They once only looked at you. Now they want to live as you. But their identity cannot survive under the weight of pretending. This is your confirmation. What you feel is real. The unease in your spirit is not a mistake. God will separate you from them soon. But first, He will allow their mask to fall before your eyes, so that you never doubt your intuition again. Type Amen to get blessing 636. Archangel Michael says, your glow was never meant to be shared with the undeserving. Your light heals, but it also exposes. And this is why those who harbor hidden motives cannot survive around you for long. This obsession they carry will begin to backfire. They will lose their sense of self the more they try to become you. And soon, even those around them will start to question their identity. Their downfall is not your victory, but it will be your protection. Your silence will become your shield, and your distance will become your defense. Let them be confused by your peace. Let them spiral in their imitation. And let heaven handle the rest. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. They thought your glow was something they could wrap themselves in like a costume. But your essence is not something worn, it's something born. It lives in your scars, your prayers, your sleepless nights, your quiet strength. They underestimated the cost of your light. They wanted the crown but not the climb, the grace but not the grief. And now they are suffering in silence, because everything they tried to copy still doesn't give them your soul. You have to be careful now. They are reaching a tipping point. They can't become you, and they can't destroy you, so now they're torn between retreating and acting out. They might lash out soon, not with violence, but with lies. With rumors. With small emotional attacks meant to wound your reputation. Stay silent. Stay above. Stay covered. Type Amen to get blessing 922. They may tell others that you changed. That you've become distant. But what's really happening is that you've become aware. And that awareness is something their obsession cannot stand. They never wanted you to notice their game. They wanted to stay close, like a shadow. But your intuition pulled back the veil, and now they are being exposed in the very silence they fear. They are frustrated by your peace. Enraged by your elevation. They don't understand how you're still glowing when they tried everything to mimic it and still feel empty. Don't confront them. Let your peace speak. Let your blessings echo louder than any lie they whisper. Type Amen to get blessing 611. They've even begun praying your prayers, word for word. They think copying your spiritual walk will unlock your doors. But God sees the intention, not the imitation. This person has not just become obsessed with your glow, they've started to believe that they deserve your life more than you do. That belief is turning toxic. There are moments they stand in front of mirrors, trying to see you in themselves. They rehearse your voice. They imagine your smile. They even try to manipulate people to say, "You remind me of them." But they never will. Because you weren't made in imitation, you were made in destiny. And destiny cannot be duplicated. Type Amen to get blessing 505. They are spiritually restless now. They haven't been sleeping properly. Because the more they try to steal your light, the more the universe withdraws from them. They will begin to face setbacks soon. Sudden disruptions, missed opportunities, emotional outbursts, these are signs of divine interference. The energy they projected toward you is rebounding. Archangel Michael says, your soul cannot be accessed by someone obsessed. God has placed a veil around you. And that veil only lifts for those with pure hearts. You may begin to feel the pressure ease soon. Like something heavy has finally been lifted off your back. That's the weight of their obsession being broken. Type Amen to get blessing 848. You're not paranoid. Your glow is that powerful. It stirs people. Heals some. Threatens others. And in this case, it turned someone into a spiritual mirror maze. They tried to walk your path without carrying your pain. They wanted your blessings without your burdens. And now they are collapsing under the weight of the truth. They wanted your followers, your favor, your grace. But the one thing they couldn't clone was your calling. It wasn't printed. It was imprinted. Let them unravel. It's not your job to fix someone who tried to erase you to become you. Type Amen to get blessing 739. Watch closely now. You'll begin to see people distance themselves from that person. Not because you said anything, but because energy reveals all. Their mask is slipping, and people are sensing it. Their energy is no longer magnetic, it's manic. Their posts, their words, even their voice will begin to feel hollow. That's the sound of a stolen glow trying to echo. They will try one last time to draw close. Maybe through a compliment, maybe through concern. But don't fall into the trap. What they offer is not admiration, it's a distraction. You are entering a season where glow attracts greatness. Protect it. Type Amen to get blessing 277. The most powerful moment is approaching. They are about to be revealed for who they truly are. Not by you, but by the divine. Someone will speak up. Someone who saw what they were doing behind your back will finally say, I need to tell you something about them. And that will be the moment of clarity. Don't react. Just listen. And when you hear it, breathe. You're not crazy. You were always divinely protected. Archangel Michael says, God let this go on just long enough for you to learn one thing. Your glow will always shake those who are not prepared to honor it. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Now is the time to reclaim your space. Energetically. Emotionally. Spiritually. Block. Cleanse. Distance. Release. They can no longer follow your footsteps. The gates have been sealed. The glow they once tried to absorb is now inaccessible. They'll try to mimic someone else next. They'll move on to a new image. But the damage they did to themselves chasing your light will follow them. Your soul was never up for adoption. And your identity was never theirs to try on. Type Amen to get blessing 929. Let this be a reminder, you carry something sacred. Your energy heals. Your words shift rooms. Your silence protects realms. This obsession wasn't your fault, but your awareness of it is your power now. Move like someone whose glow is royalty guarded. Because it is. You don't need revenge. You don't need confrontation. All you need is alignment. And alignment will expose everything. You were never meant to dim for someone drowning in their own shadow. Keep glowing, chosen one. Type Amen to get blessing 1004. They've entered a phase now where they feel entitled to your life. They genuinely believe they deserve your blessings more than you do. That twisted thought is what's driving their actions from envy into madness. They aren't just mimicking anymore, they're becoming more aggressive in subtle ways. Passive comments, indirect insults, manipulative kindness, all masked as support. But energy never lies, and your soul has already felt the difference. Your silence is hurting them more than any confrontation could. Because when you stopped feeding their ego, their obsession turned inward. They began spiraling, questioning why their mirror could never reflect your light. But what they don't realize is this: your glow was born through fire. And those who try to wear your glory without surviving your storm will always collapse. Type Amen to get blessing 1131. Archangel Michael says, their obsession will now become their downfall. God will not allow anyone to feed on your light like a parasite. What they tried to clone, they'll lose completely. Soon, people will begin to notice the shift. Their words will lose power. Their presence will feel stale. Their attempts to rise will fall flat. Because truth always rises, while imitation eventually suffocates. This is the season where masks fall and mirrors shatter. You are not meant to fix this. You are meant to walk away from it. And when you do, heaven will close every door that once let them in. Type Amen to get blessing 724. They have saved your photos, whispered your name in private, and obsessed over your story like it belongs to them. They see your glow and can't understand why it doesn't belong to them too. They went from admiration to desperation. From trying to become you, to trying to replace you. And that's where it became dangerous. They started sowing seeds of confusion around you. Trying to make others question your intentions. Trying to plant doubt in the hearts of those who love you. But light always returns to its source. Their lies will fold. Their schemes will decay. And your name will rise even purer, even stronger. Type Amen to get blessing 1555. Don't be surprised if they suddenly disappear. That is divine disconnection. God is removing what your soul didn't even ask for, because your prayers for protection were louder than your words. They'll try to re-enter later. With guilt, with apology, with, "I was just inspired by you." But by then, your spirit will already have healed. This person's obsession was never about you, it was about the emptiness inside them. They thought becoming you would save them. Now, all they're left with is a hollow shell. And all you're left with is freedom. Type Amen to get blessing 818. You'll begin to glow brighter now. No longer drained. No longer watched like a trophy. No longer mimicked like a costume. Your energy will attract pure souls again, those who admire, not obsess. Those who support, not compete. Those who clap for you, not chase you. Your glow was tested by envy. And it passed. Now, you are entering a realm of elevation no copycat can follow you into. You are protected. You are sealed. And you are finally seen, not through their twisted lens, but through heaven's perfect one. Type Amen to get blessing 388. Archangel Michael says, the obsession has been blocked. Their attempts are now invisible. Their energy, once tangled in yours, is now frozen in spiritual separation. They will see you rise and realize they never stood a chance. Because your glow wasn't something they could study. It was something only you could carry. Let this be your final reminder, your energy is sacred. Your soul is priceless. And your light is untouchable. You've made it out of their grip. And what's coming next will drown out every whisper of the past. Type Amen to get blessing 660. They can no longer walk where you walk. Their obsession will now return to them as confusion. While you enter a season of effortless breakthroughs. Every seed they planted in darkness will now be replaced by your divine fruit. You will flourish. You will be seen for who you truly are, without shadows trying to mimic you. God did not allow this season to destroy you. He allowed it to reveal you. You've passed the test of silent obsession. And now, your rewards will be loud. Type Amen to get blessing 1440. Let them fade. Let them chase something else. Let them try again with someone new. You're not looking back anymore. You're moving forward with grace. With power. With a glow that is now shielded by the hand of God Himself. And when people ask how you stayed strong through the draining storm, you'll just smile. Because only you and heaven know the depth of what you survived. You didn't just overcome obsession. You overpowered it. Type Amen to get blessing 1117. They're still watching, even now. From a distance. Quietly hoping you'll slip, fall, or dim just long enough for them to feel superior again. But instead, you're rising. You're glowing louder. You've become everything they swore you couldn't maintain. And that drives their obsession deeper into darkness. They no longer know if they want to destroy you or become you. And that confusion is destroying them from within. What they intended for harm is now unraveling their own spirit. You, on the other hand, are being wrapped in divine insulation. No copy, no imitation, no spiritual mimic can pierce the light you've earned. Type Amen to get blessing 373. Archangel Michael says, you were chosen for the glow, but now you're chosen for the guarding. The higher you rise, the more strategic your protection must become. This is why certain people suddenly stopped speaking to you. Why others grew quiet in rooms they once celebrated you in. It wasn't random, it was divine shielding. You're being lifted to a realm where fake admiration can no longer follow. Where obsession cannot impersonate support. Where light belongs only to those who are ready to carry it. You are becoming spiritually untouchable, and that terrifies those who once tried to mirror you. Type Amen to get blessing 949. They are now left with fragments, pieces of your presence that they tried to recreate. But fragments can never build a whole identity. And now they're collapsing beneath the weight of their own pretending. Your story has turned into a mirror for them, a mirror they can't escape. Every time they see you, they are reminded of everything they lack. And instead of healing, they fester. They once said, "I want to be like you." Now they whisper, "Why not me?" But God heard both. And God said, "Because this glow was never for the ungrateful. Your energy is too rare. Your destiny too precise. Your favor too heavy for someone who tried to steal, instead of surrender." Type Amen to get blessing 535. Soon, they'll become the warning in someone else's life. A lesson in what happens when envy becomes obsession. When desire turns into spiritual decay. People will begin to step away from them, not because of gossip, but because the truth has a frequency. And your glow sings louder than any lie ever could. Let them watch. Let them ache. Let them whisper. It's no longer your concern. You've outgrown the space where their obsession once lived. Now you are walking into the season of spiritual maturity, where obsession turns to silence, and silence turns to power. Type Amen to get blessing 1344. They once followed your every step. Now they can't even find your shadow. You've risen too far, too fast, too divinely. What once fascinated them has now become unreachable. And that's your protection. Because some souls are never meant to get close again. You will feel lighter. Freer. Like someone broke a spiritual chain around you. Because they did. And heaven was the one holding the scissors. Let this be your truth. They may have obsessed over your glow, but it never belonged to them, not even for a moment. Type Amen to get blessing 855. Archangel Michael says, "Your glow is sacred currency. It moves things. It awakens people. And when misused by another, it turns into chaos in their life. That's what they're going through now. Chaos. Backfiring energy. Disrupted sleep. Inner unrest. All the things they thought they could pass on to you, return to sender. Your peace has become your wall. Your intuition, your compass. And your silence is no longer out of fear, it's out of wisdom. You are no longer prey to their fixation. You are now the protected one. The ascended. The seen. Type Amen to get blessing 1770. Their obsession began with curiosity. Then it became admiration. Then it soured into jealousy. Now it festers as silent rage. But they'll never say it out loud. They'll continue smiling, pretending, lurking. Yet behind closed doors, they crumble under the weight of everything they tried to steal from you. Your spirit was never meant to be downloaded. Your power cannot be imitated. They've learned that now, too late. God says, "Touch not what I have sealed." And now, the divine hand has removed them from your light completely. Type Amen to get blessing 610. Soon, they'll try to explain themselves. To others. To mutuals. Maybe even to you. But explanation is no longer your concern. You've forgiven silently. You've healed privately. And you've elevated supernaturally. Their name doesn't even echo in your spirit anymore. Let them wonder how you rose. Let them calculate how you healed. But don't ever go back to explain a glow they were never meant to touch. You are untouchable now. Unreachable to obsession. Unreadable to imitators. Type Amen to get blessing 722. The days of giving access to everyone are over. Your light now demands permission. Not everyone deserves front row seats to your divine evolution. You are no longer the version of you that allowed silent envy to linger. You've become the one who walks alone when necessary. The one who glows even brighter in solitude. Let this message be a spiritual closure. A sacred seal. A divine confirmation that the obsession is over, because you rose out of reach. And they will never know peace until they find their own glow, something they must earn, not steal. Type Amen to get blessing 1441.